Hello, hello, and welcome. My name is Jay, and I am your StriveScan facilitator, and we have some great schools here to give you just quick hits about what they have to offer. So welcome to the Bay Area Case Studies Virtual College Fair Explore session. Thank you so much for joining us here. I have just a couple of housekeeping announcements that I'm going to go over, and then I'll pass it to our amazing 6 presenters who only get just 6 minutes to tell you all about their school. So the first thing that I want to let you know is that there is a Q&A button at the top or bottom of your screen, and that's what you can use to type questions to our presenters at any time. The only ask that we have is that if you have a question for a specific school, please list the school name in the question so the right person answers the right question. Also, your camera, your microphone, all of that is off, so there's nothing that you have to worry about there. You can see and hear us. We cannot see and hear you. Also, this presentation is being recorded, so if you miss anything, your internet goes out, and you want to follow back up, within about 1 week, you'll be able to get this recording at strivescan.com/BACS. Now, we have a great variety of schools that are going to be presenting to today. They vary in size, location, and other characteristics. So we hope this session really broadens your horizons as to what is offered within the college realm. And the schools that we have here for you today are Wake Forest University, Boston University, Lehigh University, Sarah Lawrence College, St. Olaf College, and Purdue University. I'm going to stop sharing and ask Wake Forest University to come on up and take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, Jay. Let me get this up and shared with y'all. I think you should be able to see that. Perfect. So hello and welcome. Thanks for joining us this evening. I know this is very different than how y'all usually do things, but my name is Morgan Werkamp. I'm an assistant dean of admissions at Wake Forest, and hopefully in the next 6 minutes, I will tell you all you really need to know, well, preliminarily, about Wake Forest. So firstly, Wake Forest is a liberal arts college. We are considered a small medium school. We are located in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And so our school, like I said, is medium sized. So we have roughly 5,000 undergraduate students and 2,800 grad students. I stress those numbers because I think it's really important to know that you're at a school where the majority of students are undergraduates. So really a lot of our focus and our commitment and our resources are going to our undergraduate students. Of course, a benefit of having graduate students on your campus, as well as graduate schools such as the School of Business, the law school, and a medical school downtown, is that our undergraduates get access to those professors and those resources their entire 4 years while they're a student on campus, which really makes us fit the mold of being a small liberal arts college, but having the resources of a larger research institution. That's a little bit furthered by the fact that we've extended our campus into downtown Winston-Salem. So you can kind of see it peeking in the skyline here of this image. So downtown Winston-Salem, we have extended our campus. We've cleverly named it Wake Downtown. And this is where you'll find our Graduate School of Medicine, as well as 4 undergraduate majors that are mainly housed here, one of those being engineering. And so students who end up declaring in those areas kind of split their time on our main campus in here. But luckily, even if you're not a STEM student, every year, 16 different departments teach at the Wake Downtown campus. And so all of our students end up getting access and an experience in that space. Additionally, it is very close to campus. It's only 2 to 3 miles away, so 10 to 12 minutes depending on traffic. And that really gets you into the heart of downtown Winston-Salem. So Winston-Salem is home to 250,000 people, also 3 other undergrad colleges. So for our students, there's never a shortage of things to get involved in, whether it be going out to eat, going to see live music, do free yoga in Bailey Park, or go to River Run, our national film festival that comes every year. So just a lot to get involved in, both downtown in the city as well as on campus, which we'll head back to. So in terms of where students will be spending a lot of their time, I think it's important to kind of give a sense of what the classroom environment will be like at Wake. And so at Wake Forest, all of our classes are taught by Wake Forest professors. No classes are taught by TAs or grad students, which hopefully is exciting. Our student faculty ratio is 11 to 1, which means that on average, classes are going to be 20 to 25 students in size. And so we really try and keep that consistent so our students can get to know their professors, not only as mentors, but really grow in that relationship. It is not uncommon to talk to current students who talk about experiences being invited over to dinners at professors or having coffee with them. And that is definitely something that you can expect at Wake. In terms of our liberal arts curriculum, students have 2 years before they need to declare a major. And so students don't declare a major until the end of their sophomore year, which means you have a lot of time to take classes across disciplines and really figure out what you're interested in. 90% of our students end up having more than just a major. So major and a minor, and then 34% of students end up having double majors while on campus. And again, those can be across disciplines. I want to transition now to talk about the 2 things that we're most known for, the first being undergraduate research. So 2/3 of our students are involved in undergraduate research. 50% of students do those alongside a professor, and the other 50% get their research funded. Of course, lots of opportunities in the STEM field to do research. Some of my personal favorite projects that get funded are in the humanities. So a couple years ago, a student ended up going to Scotland and Ireland, where he studied how folk music affects communities and creates collaboration. Another student ended up getting funded to go to England to study Jane Austen. So really specific niche things that you can dive into, and that's something that you have access to. The other thing that we're most known for is opportunities to study abroad. And so we have a lot of students who come to Wake who want to be global learners. So roughly 75% of students end up going abroad. We offer programs to 400 different programs to 70 different countries. So you have a lot to choose from. We also offer some opportunities in the United States if you're not sure where you want to go abroad just yet. We have 2 specific that are study away programs, both in Washington, D.C. as well as San Francisco Bay Area. And these include internships. And so again, just a really cool, not only travel experience, but a professional experience to grow as a young professional. So when you're not away from campus, you're living on campus. Students are required to live here for 3 years. We guarantee 4. Luckily for seniors, half of them continue to stay on campus, which just means our campus is very active and very social. We have over 200 clubs and organizations ranging from, a cappella to intramural groups to K-pop dance crews. If there's a club you want to have, it's very easy to make that a thing, to make your own club. So that's easy if we don't have something you're interested in. We also have D1 athletics, which is kind of a fun, quirky thing about us. Also, I'm getting ahead of myself, opportunities to get involved in service as a part of our motto being pro humanitate. And like I said, being D1, that's a lot to get involved in. We're the smallest D1 school in a Power 5 conference. So I'm going over, I'm gonna stop before Jay cuts me off.
I'm muted. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Boston University, take it away.
Thank you, Jay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Matthew Gallery. I am a Senior Assistant Director of Admissions at Boston University. First thing I'm going to do is throw a couple of things into the chat all at once to everyone. Just my contact information. I am the Northern California representative. It's also some quick information, handouts, if you will, on BU. So Boston University, we are the 4th largest private research and teaching institution in the country with a little over 16,000 undergraduate students. Really just starting off with our physical location within the city of Boston, because there are over 60 colleges within a 10-mile radius of the city. Everything that you see in this backdrop space here is kind of downtown Boston. And then everything on this stretch here is our campus. Our campus is 1.3 miles long, stretching down Commonwealth Avenue. It's one of the major roads in the city of Boston. But something that's important to note on the campus itself is that it is both an urban institution in that, of course, we are in the city perimeter of Boston, but we are just outside of the downtown part, which does allow for our campus to be both residential and have that traditional college campus feel. Now, there's nothing fully traditional about our college campus because of the fact that it is a hybrid of both. But it's nice because our students are guaranteed housing all 4 years. You have different styles of living, from dormitories to suites to brownstones to high-rising apartments. And one of the important reasons that we want to have and facilitate that sense of community is, again, we're on the larger side. We're over 16,000 students strong. And our students are coming from truly all over, from, of course, all across the US. California is the third most represented state on campus, but truly from around the globe. A quarter of our students come from an international background from over 120 countries around the world. So at a school like BU, you're going to have so many languages, cultures, identities, and ultimately academic pursuits. At BU, we offer over 300 programs of study across 10 undergraduate schools and colleges, and tons of flexibility to really match that. You will not hear the word impacted. You will not be restricted in your classes that you can take and in the majors that you can pursue. In fact, a third of our students come in undeclared, so there's no pressure to know what you want to do right from day one. Or if you do have interests, maybe as an incoming student or want to switch later on, through our intra-university transfer program, you have the flexibility to do so. Again, there's no impacted majors. You have the ability to switch your major, switch your school or college entirely. Or you may have end up with multiple interests. And over half of our students will actually add in a second form of study. So whether that be a second major, a minor, or adding on program fifth year master options, having that ability, that flexibility to be able to explore classes outside of your major is actually built into the curriculum at BU. At BU, we offer a program called the BU Hub, which is BU's take on a liberal arts education. But rather than just checking off boxes, 2 classes in math, 2 classes in sciences, 2 classes in social sciences, so on and so forth, you're going to take classes that are going to teach you important skills in what we call capacities, things like, of course, reading and writing, but in spaces and on topics that are going to be most interesting to you. So sticking with that same example, rather than just having every single student take a first-year English class where every single person is studying Shakespeare, which we offer plenty of if that is your interest. We also offer reading and writing classes that cover things like cybersecurity and US national security, or the science of astronomy, or the culture of food. You have flexibility to be able to, of course, learn these important skills that we want all of our graduates to have when they leave BU, but again, in spaces that are going to be interesting and relevant to you. And of course, exploring those academics, your number one resource are going to be your professors. At BU, we have a 10-to-1 student to faculty ratio and an average class size of just 27. So ensuring that you're able to make meaningful connections with your professors that are going to expand past just your teacher and the students. You're going to be peers, colleagues, they're going to be your mentors, and they're going to connect you with opportunities to be able to take what you learn in the classroom into the real world. At BU, we are a tier 1 research institution, which is just a fancy term for there's a lot of money and resources in that research enterprise. And we want to be able to engage undergraduates to be able to be a part of that. One such program is our Undergraduate Research Opportunities Program, or UROP for short. UROP is a way for undergraduates to lead research. They can come up with research proposals, what they want to study, how they want to study it. And UROP funds undergraduates to the tune of over $1 million annually. Again, it's right in the name. It's the undergraduate program. So all $1 million+ of that funding is going directly to undergraduate-led research. That could happen on campus. Of course, in the STEM fields, we have thousands of laboratory spaces on campus, but that's also going to be in the humanities, in the arts, and business. And you can take it off of campus, out into the world. I mentioned we have a global institution and a community right on campus, but you can also get out into those spaces. Just shy of half of our students will study abroad at least once during their undergraduate experience, so ensuring they're able to pair it off with that global education. You can do research abroad. You can also pursue internships abroad, but you don't need to leave BU or the city of Boston. About 90% of our total student body will participate in at least one internship prior to graduating. So again, ensuring that you have real world professional experiences in every industry within the city of Boston. We have partnerships as well in LA, DC, the Bay Area, New York, and more, so that you can, of course, incorporate what you're learning in the classroom space. But Boston isn't just about professional opportunities. It's also a way for you to take advantage of the community. The train runs directly through our campus. The T is like a BART, except a little bit better. Californians agree with me, so I feel okay saying that. You can head into downtown within 10 to 15 minutes and take advantage of all that the city has to offer, and also over 450 clubs and organizations that students can be a part of right on campus. I also will turn it back to Jay so that I don't have to get cut off, but thank you all so much.
Thank you so much, Matt. Really appreciate that. Lehigh University, take it away, Morgan.
Thank you, and thanks everyone for being here tonight. My name is Morgan Volkart, and I'm the Associate Vice Provost for the Western Region and International Recruitment at Lehigh. I'm based out of San Francisco, and I am the admissions counselor for those of you in Northern California. Other fun fact, I'm also a Lehigh alum, So I might share some tidbits about my experience. But what you need to know about Lehigh, we are a private residential research university. We've got just under 5,200 undergraduate students, just under 2,000 grad students. Our students come from over 90 countries, 49 states, DC, Puerto Rico. California is actually our fourth most represented state on campus. And we really focus on a hands-on interdisciplinary approach to education and look to foster both an entrepreneurial way of thinking as well as a global perspective among our students, no matter what they're studying during their time at Lehigh. So I hope to highlight some things that I think are distinctive in that regard. But first and foremost, our location. So we are in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. This is an aerial shot of our campus in the fall, which is a lot of folks' favorite time of year. Just within walking distance of our campus, you're going to find over 15 different types of cuisines, 20 different restaurants you can walk to, lots of festivals, tons of shopping, any kind of outdoor activity you can think of is within walking or driving distance. We also have an airport just 10 minutes away from our campus. We are within a 90-minute drive to both New York City as well as Philadelphia. So our students do actually spend most of their time on campus, even though we are in close proximity to some large cities, and that's because majority of our students, again, do live on our campus. So we are a medium size with 5,200 undergraduate students. So that does allow for a lot of flexibility, but also a lot of close interaction with your faculty. We do have a 9-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So you're getting to know them, they're getting to know you, and ultimately that's going to help you really make the most of your time at Lehigh. We have over 100 majors across 4 undergraduate colleges. You'll also see the College of Education listed here. That's more of a graduate college at Lehigh where you can actually do your master's and your bachelor's in 5 years. But our students mostly come in undecided into one of those 4 colleges at the undergrad level, but you can switch between them. Personally, I came and switched my major 3 times, moved between business and arts and sciences a few times, and still was able to double major within 4 years. Fit in studying abroad in China, while also playing a Division I sport and taking advantage of internships. So this flexibility really allows for you to take advantage of quite a bit during your time and also do that all within 4 years. A good portion of our students also pursue interdisciplinary programs as well. We've got over 24 of those. Some of the popular ones are integrated degree in business and engineering, our integrated degree in engineering and arts and sciences, and then our computer science and business program, which is the only one that's dually accredited in both areas in the nation. All of these programs are 4-year programs at Lehigh. So some things that I do want to emphasize, as I mentioned earlier, a very hands-on approach to learning. And one way we do that is through student projects. So students have the opportunity to take advantage of one of these programs, the mountaintop experience. And this is literally on the top of the mountain that Lehigh is built on the side of. And we have massive maker spaces up there, 3 buildings that look like the one that you see in the picture here, where students can start working on projects anytime during their career at Lehigh. They come up with the ideas. They're typically things that nobody's ever done before. We provide the resources and funding. Most of the time they're working in groups with students from other disciplines to bring these ideas to life. And also no credit is attached to it, no grade. And therefore students can really be creative. They can take risks and not be afraid of failing in a way that maybe they wouldn't be able to do in the typical classroom environment. So this is just one way that students apply their learning. Another way is, of course, through internships and also co-ops. So I show this picture because we do have a presence in the Bay Area, but we work with the entire West Coast, so 13 states, including Hawaii on the West Coast, to help make connections for our students. We have 5 staff out here, and we pair them up with internships, jobs after graduation. Our engineers do co-ops in their junior year, which are actually 8 months long, full-time and paid, and they still graduate in 4 years. So you're still going to be able to stay really connected to the West Coast and the Bay Area as a student on campus in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, through our offerings out here, but especially through the Lehigh at NASDAQ Center. So this is a physical space that we have in the financial district in partnership with NASDAQ, and we host internships, courses, workshops here throughout the year. Our internships in the summertime are fully funded, and our students actually get free housing and a stipend to live off for those internships. And then finally, that global perspective is really important too. So in addition to study abroad, fully funded internships abroad as well in the summertime, we've got a partnership with the United Nations that allows our students to access the UN every week. They can attend the weekly briefings there every Thursday, internships just for Lehigh students there, as well as a program where students can represent NGOs from all over the world at the UN. So some really great hands-on experiences there for students across disciplines. And you have all of this with the backdrop of course, lots of clubs, organizations, Greek life, Division I sports, spirit, traditions, all that fun stuff. And I hope to keep in touch with you, and I will stop there and hand it over to my colleagues. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks so much, Morgan. We are halfway through our evening tonight, so if you have any questions for these amazing people, definitely feel free to use that Q&A button. We definitely encourage it. But Sarah Lawrence College, go on ahead.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Liam George, and I'm happy to talk to you a little bit about Sarah Lawrence today. I'm going to be talking just a little bit about the basics, but most of the evening I'm going to be actually spending talking a little bit more in depth about the kind of distinctive academic model that we have. So here you can see our location on the left. We are located just 15 miles north of Manhattan. It is a great opportunity for students to be near the city, but not in it. So they have the traditional liberal arts campus experience, but really easy access into the city when students want to take advantage of it for either recreational purposes or to go in for an internship. So as you see on the map, this blue line is the Metro North's Harlem line, taking about 30 to 35 minutes from Bronxville Station right into Grand Central Terminal. So it's, again, really easy no matter what day of the week it is to get in and out of the city as you see fit. That said, we also do offer free shuttle service on Saturdays, so you don't always have to pay that fare in order to get into the city. Overall, though, Sarah Lawrence is a liberal arts and sciences college of about 1,350 students. We are, and we've got admissions. We have the common application. We're test optional. Moving into the academic portion, this is the most common form of class that we offer at Sarah Lawrence, known as a seminar conference. This is the seminar component of that class. They are roundtable discussion-based classes that average just 12 students and cap at 15. So it's always a really intimate and really interactive course that is a great opportunity for students to bounce ideas off of one another as well as off of the professor directly. What's really unique, though, is that in addition to this, students also have a chance to meet individually with their professor every other week for about 30 to 45 minutes during a time known as conferences. So at the beginning of the semester, those conferences will be mostly getting to know one another. But after that, you can start asking questions about course readings and course materials. You'll have a chance to connect the stuff that you're learning in class to current events and the other classes that you're taking at the same time. But the main focus of this conference time is to start thinking about a larger independent project based on your own interests. So this is really meant to be your opportunity to hop in the driver's seat and take control of your learning. So a conference project takes a lot of different shapes and forms based on what you're interested in studying. But basically, it could be anything from a portfolio of writing in a writing course, poetry, short stories, even a couple chapters of a novel. In the sciences, that might be some hands-on scientific research, designing experiments, carrying them out and recording the results. Or in a course like a foreign language, it might be a translation of a text, just to give a few examples. Overall, it's about 90% of our courses that are taught in that format. The other 10% being small lectures. Because you're doing a little bit more work in each of your classes, though, it is going to be a little bit different in terms of the distribution of your credits. So all of the courses at Sarah Lawrence are worth 5 credits, but you're only taking 3 of them at a time, which allows you to dig deeper into each subject and not stretch yourself quite so thin. So as I mentioned, the other 10% are these small lecture courses, usually between 25 and 35 students in those. And the secondary component for those courses is a group conference. So even though you're in a slightly larger setting for the main portion of the course, you still have an opportunity to meet in a group conference of about 8 to 10 students with the professor every other week, just like you would with your individual conferences. The only exception to either of those two class styles come in the performing arts, which are more conservatory in style. The other thing that I want to talk about is the curriculum itself, because there are a few unique features there. So one of those being the fact that we have an open curriculum at Sarah Lawrence, but secondly, that every student designs their own course of study. The idea of the open curriculum is kind of threefold. First, it means that when you're applying to the college, you are applying to the school as a whole and not to a specific program. And so when you are admitted, you have gained access into every class and every program that we offer. Secondly, no matter what your main focus area happens to be, once you are at Sarah Lawrence, you still have access to the rest of those courses. So it's not unusual at all to find students who have combinations of interests that include pre-med and dancing, or learning a language at the same time that they're studying law. So you do have a lot of opportunities there and a lot of kind of customization and personalization. Lastly, we also don't reserve seats in our courses for students just studying that specific area. So every class that you take, whether it's literature or psychology, will be right alongside linguists, historians, artists, mathematicians, scientists, all coming together, bringing something a little bit different to the table and tackling the same problems from slightly different angles. So it creates a really dynamic atmosphere where students really are learning as much from each other as they are from the professor. Then we take this kind of open curriculum one step further by offering to have all of our students design their own course of study. So essentially the way that this works is that you have a chance to pick and choose course by course a program of study that is best suited for you. You have a faculty advisor to help guide you through this process though, so you're not alone. So it's a good balance between ensuring that you have that kind of autonomy in course selection, while at the same time making sure that you have somebody that can guide you through this so that you'll be taking all of the courses that really will be imperative for you to be a competitive applicant to a job or a graduate school when you finish up. So that is all I wanted to talk to you about tonight. I hope that you have enjoyed the session, and I hope you continue to for the rest of the evening. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks so much, Liam. We're going to move right along now to our next presenter here. It looks like St. Olaf College. You are next.
Hi, everyone. All right. Well, thanks so much, everyone, again, for being here. My name is Maggie Matson-Larson. I am one of the Associate Deans of Admission at St. Olaf College. We are located in Northfield, Minnesota, about 45 minutes south of the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul. We are a small private liberal arts college. We only have undergraduate students on campus, but we have 3,000 students. So in terms of small undergraduate only liberal arts colleges in the country, 3,000 is actually a little bit on the larger side. And we think that that's exciting. We have 23 is our average class size, 12:1 is our student to faculty ratio. So you do get that small community and all the benefits of it. But with 3,000 students, we have a lot of varsity athletics that we offer. We have over 200 clubs and organizations. So students are able to really get a good variety of experience. And yes, Northfield, we are again in Minnesota. We do have all 4 seasons. We do have a number of students from California. California, I think, is the 4th most represented state at St. Olaf, so 4th or 5th. So we do have students looking for a little bit of an adventure, something different. All 4 seasons are very robust at St. Olaf. We're in the southern part of the state, though. We are not bordering Canada. So you can see the outline of the state of Minnesota here is where that shield is. We are about 2 hours north of Iowa. So for any of you who are interested in Midwestern geography. A little bit more about our academic program. So we are on a 4-1-4 academic calendar. So students take 4 classes in the fall and 4 classes in the spring, and then 1 class during the month of January, which is called interim or J-term at some other colleges. During interim, students have the opportunity to take 1 class either on campus, off campus, somewhere else in the US, or abroad. And so that is an exciting opportunity for students. We do send more students abroad than any small college in the country. So that is the #1 ranking you see there. That is a ranking we've had for about 12 years. Most of our students do travel through St. Olaf led programs. So you get to go with other St. Olaf students and faculty members, which just impacts the community that much more when you come back to campus. And we do offer over 85 majors, programs, concentrations. That is our version of a minor. So you have the opportunity to come into St. Olaf. Most students are undecided, or I say multi-interested, but wait to declare a major formally until the end of sophomore year. So you have 2 years to really get to explore, see what calls to you in terms of academic major or majors. And then the last 2 years, you get to really dive in deep with your interests. We are also really well known for our music and our fine arts. Music in particular, about 1/3 of our student body, so 1,000 of our students are involved in some way with the music ensembles. but only 8% of those students are actually majors. So you can come to St. Olaf, you can be as involved as you want with music. You can tour nationally and internationally with our top ensembles and not be a music major. If you do want to be a music major though, we do also offer, in addition to a Bachelor of Arts degree in music, a Bachelor of Music degree. So a little bit more of a conservatory style program, but still within the liberal arts. A little more about our community. So of our 3,000 students, 95% live on campus. So for those of you who just did the case studies for Jefferson University, a very similar type of experience in that most students are living on campus. Again, we only have undergraduate students, so that residential community is really important and really popular. Students come from all 50 states, 95 countries, about 11% of our students identify as international students. And so that is an exciting sort of vibe on campus. And we do have really good food. You can see our dining hall that's the big room here that's illuminated. And that is a really popular spot for students. We only have one dining hall, and that is to serve all students because, again, the community is important. Connecting with each other is important. So students like to come together and eat together. A little bit more about outcomes and support. We love our students and our professors love our students, but we are very intentional about having you graduate in 4 years. So that is something that's really important. Our 4-year graduation rate is 82%. Almost all of our students graduate having had some kind of an internship or job shadowing or some kind of experiential learning opportunity to help reveal to them what their path might be after graduation. There's a ton of support for students. So whether it's getting to know faculty members and through your academic departments, or maybe you have a job on campus and that kind of helps inform what a direction might be. We also have the Piper Center for Vocation and Career, and that is a one-stop shop for finding internships, research opportunities, going on programs like pictured here, the Connections program. We do send students to various cities all around the US during campus breaks. And that is a really great opportunity for students to connect with alums and friends of the college. This is a program that went to Los Angeles. This is from 2019 here, but programs go to Chicago, Denver, the Bay Area, Washington, DC. We have alums all over the place, Seattle. So there are St. Olaf people, Ollie's. The Bay Area Alumni Group is actually one of the larger alumni clubs that we do have. So Ollie's, St. Olaf people are excited to connect with St. Olaf students and get you where you want to go. A little bit about our admissions process. We do have both early action and early decision. Early decision is if you've decided on St. Olaf, obviously it is binding. Early action, you can apply early, hear back early, and then you have until May 1st to make your decision. We do really very much value making St. Olaf an affordable option. We are committed to meeting 100% of students' demonstrated financial need. As you can see, almost 80% of our students receive some kind or receive need-based financial aid, and almost all of our students receive either a need-based grant or scholarship. We do offer scholarships in all 4 of our fine arts departments. So those are audition-based or application-based, in addition to academic merit and service scholarships. So that's a little bit about St. Olaf. Here's a beautiful fall shot. So not just winter time on campus. And my contact information, feel free to reach out, and thank you so much for your attention.
Thanks so much, Maggie. Really appreciate that. We have one final presentation from Purdue University. Go ahead.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and share my screen. There we go. Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah. Sorry, no, I'm not apologizing. That's just how you pronounce my last name. I'll include it in the chat at the end here. But as we mentioned, I'm with Purdue University. I'm actually based here local to the Bay Area. So if you have any questions about Purdue or how to get connected to campus, don't hesitate to reach out since I am in the same time zone as you. Purdue is probably the largest of the group here this evening. We are a public university in the heart of the Midwest, about 35,000 undergraduate students. But the nice thing is we have plenty of professors on staff to help support our students. So our average class size is only about 30, which is pretty similar to probably what you're used to now in high school, and a student to teacher ratio of about 13:1. We do kind of bring the world to this melting pot of a university at Purdue. So it's really similar to the Bay Area in regards to diversity. We have students from all 50 states plus over 120 other different countries as well. So like I said, it's not going to feel too different different at Purdue as you guys are used to out here in the Bay Area. California is actually our third largest state represented on campus after Indiana, which obviously we are a public school. And then pretty much the Chicagoland area comes next, and then shortly followed by California. So more likely than not, you're going to know a few students before you start your first Purdue class. A little bit more about where we're located. We are in West Lafayette, Indiana, not Lafayette, California, so don't be confused. We're about an hour from Indianapolis and about 2 hours from Chicago in that quintessential college town experience. So even though we are a college town, there's plenty of things to do, like music and arts festivals, concerts. We've had Lady Gaga, Kid Cudi, Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, Jason Mraz, you name it, comedians, Broadway shows, professional lecture series. But if you want a city fix, it's super easy to hop in a get around or zip car, pop up to Chicago for some deep dish, and maybe down to Indianapolis to catch a Colts game in the fall, you name it. With transportation between Bay Area and campus, one thing I will mention, we do have shuttles that go from Chicago O'Hare and Indianapolis International to campus. So it's super, super easy for you guys to make whatever flights you are looking to make. One thing that I want to make sure we drive home, though, is the sense of community. So I actually want to help you guys get to know a few of our students. So on the far left is Alexis Roberts. She's one of our students in biology, and she actually was able to take advantage of one of our thousands of research opportunities that we offer to our undergraduate students. So with her research, she actually studied jaw biomechanics of sculpins, which are a type of fish that you see in the tank there. But a unique thing about her research experience is that she was able to kind of double dip in study abroad and research, and do that study abroad research experience in the Caribbean, which who doesn't want to lay on a beach in their pastime, while also doing their research and getting course credit for it. The third student from the left there is SJ. He's one of our students in electrical engineering technology. And one of his unique research experiences was partnering with the brand Tupperware, which you see in his hand there. He helped to develop some prototypes for some smart Tupperware. So essentially it's able to sense how much longer your food will last. It'll communicate with your smart refrigerator and tell it when you need to add it to the list, anything like that. So that's just a few examples of the number of research and extra hands-on opportunities that our students can take advantage of across all of our different majors that we offer. One of the common questions I often get asked is, where can I get a job or internship? Am I going to be staying in the Midwest, or can I go East Coast back here to the Bay Area? Our Center for Career Opportunities, or CCO, is kind of the main hub for jobs, internships, interviews, anything you can think of. We actually host the largest student-run career fair in the country called the Industrial Roundtable. And for that fair alone, we bring over 400 companies from all over the world right to campus to hire you. So Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Apple, Genentech, you name it. These are big brand name companies that come each year to hire our students. And then as far as involvement while you're at Purdue, we have close to 1,000 clubs and organizations to choose from. So no matter what you're interested in, it's really easy to kind of find your people on campus. So we have bands, orchestras, and choirs, and our All-American Marching Band, a huge Greek community, as well as philanthropic organizations. And that bottom left corner you see there is actually our Pet a Puppy Club, which, I mean, come on, it's petting puppies and it's a club. Who can say no to that, right? And then moving on to some more academics. So we have tons of options. We have over 200 majors. Some of our most competitive programs are going to be engineering, computer science, business, nursing, and professional flight. Yes, we have a flight program. A private pilot's license is not required, but when you apply to Purdue, you do apply directly to one of the majors that we offer. And a little bit more about the actual application evaluation. A few things to know, it is a holistic review. My biggest piece of advice is please try to apply by November 1st. It's early action, so it's non-binding. The other thing to mention is that we are test flexible. So essentially, if you have a test score, great, we'd love to see it. If not, you're still eligible and competitive for scholarships, admissions, honors college, everything like that. And then last but not least, I want to leave with the money talk. So the main thing that I want to point out here on this slide is 10 consecutive years of frozen tuition. We've not had a single tuition hike since 2012. In addition to that, we've reduced the cost of room and board since 2012. So it's actually cheaper for you to attend Purdue now than it was when I graduated. So reducing student loan debt and driving home that value for higher education is a huge priority for us at Purdue. So thank you guys so much for joining us this evening, and I'll share my contact information in the chat.
Thank you so much here. Now I'm going to ask all of our reps to actually come back onto video here because I've got a question for you, and we'll answer in the exact same order which y'all presented. But what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? Wake Forest?
Thank you, Jay. So I just came from a case study and this came up. So I often tell students some of the best things you can do is know that self-advocacy is huge. Colleges have admissions officers like us who are actually reading your application, who actually want to get to know you. And so hopefully you felt that today. So if you have, your top 3 colleges, top five, go to that admissions page, figure out who your regional dean is and shoot them an email. Stay in touch with them. They want to get to know you outside of just that application. And that's something that you have access to doing. So know that you are your best advocate, and we want to get to know you more personally. So that's my advice.
Great, thank you. In Boston?
Hello again. I would say that first off, just kudos to all of you for going through the search in such a weird time, and that's putting it very lightly, to be able to just kind of learn more about the college experience in a very unique way. In that regard, I think that if there is one silver lining that's come out of this, it's really forced all of our hands in terms of reimagining how to have the campus visit, how to learn more about universities. So take advantage of that. Learn about all the different programs in any capacity that you're able to. And I always think it's important to learn about universities from more than one source, right? To learn from different perspectives, especially from not just the admission representatives, but from the students, from the faculty. So attending the other programs that we're going to put on, as well as hopefully down the road, being able to have them in person again, just hearing those different perspectives to be able to, again, just gauge the university from just as many folks as possible, I think can go a long way as you just try and figure out which college is going to be the best fit for you.
Awesome. Lehigh University, what do you have to say?
Thanks. I just want to add on to what Matthew was saying. We're still all living in a virtual world, even as some of our campuses are opening up or are soon to open up to visitors. But not everybody can visit, right? A lot of our schools are across the country, and those virtual sessions are a great resource, not only to learn about our schools, but also I think to get tips about the application process. So a lot of us are hosting webinars to help you learn more about the holistic admissions process, or financial aid, or essay workshops, and the list goes on and on. So look out for things like that that are going to help you in applying to any school.
Great, thanks. And Sarah Lawrence College, what do you have to add?
Yeah, I always like to advise students to occasionally break some of their own rules. So I know a lot of students have a kind of, in their mind, they think that they want to go to a specific size school or a specific location. You should absolutely look at those schools that do fit your criteria, but don't only look at those schools. Also take some risks, take some time to research some schools that kind of go against the grain as well. That offers a lot of contrast to really help you figure out what is best for you.
Absolutely. St. Olaf.
I would say that, sort of to add on to what some of my colleagues have said, I think that it's so important to take advantage of all the virtual opportunities that we have available now. I think that talking to current students is one of the most valuable things students can do, and not necessarily just one student, but seeking out whether it's a virtual tour guide or if there's a student panel or the opportunity even just to text or to have a phone call with current students. Could even be somebody who doesn't work for admissions, somebody maybe you know who goes to a college. I think that can give you a real good sense for the type of vibe and the community, even if you're unable to physically visit.
Beautiful. And Purdue.
So my advice would be to make sure to pay attention to deadlines. They are dramatically important in admissions just because a lot of things happen with deadlines. And I know it can be overwhelming trying to keep track of all the information for all the schools you're interested in applying for. So Google Sheets will be your best friend. You can take it obviously on your phone with you on the tour, and when you gather information about notes that you've experienced, you can add that to the Google Sheet, but also it kind of serves as your one-stop shop for keeping track of those deadlines, what's required for complete application, everything, rather than having to find it on each individual institution's website.
Great, thank you. And I just want to say thank you so much to the 6 of you for being here and giving all this great information about your schools. We really appreciate it. And thank you all for joining us here live. Super grateful that we've been able to be of service. When you close this window, there will be a short 4-question survey that we would love for you to do and give us any feedback you're willing to. Also, this is just one of many sessions. There are more sessions happening this evening if you want to go to that website and get registered for more from other great schools. And in about 1 week, this recording will be available to you at strivescan.com/BACS. But you all have a wonderful night. Bye now.